Welcome to this English class, everyone. So today we are continuing our lesson. So please get started with me. Afternoon to everyone and welcome to our English class here. So every Friday we meet each other and we learn new lesson day by day. So also today we have another new lesson. So before starting the lesson, I would like to inform you that I am from New Generation School of Brain High School. Yes, so without further delay, please get started. As you can see that this is the lesson video for instant teaching program, and we are continuing our unit 5 looking forward, and this is the new lesson, which is lesson 3 reading. We are going to study this lesson and read the passage of a girl with two families. Have you ever heard this kind of case before? I hope that you will enjoy this lesson together. Before I start teaching, I would like to inform you about the COVID-19 spread. You must be careful with this because it is really serious damage. So it's destroys thousands of people around the world and hundreds of people in Cambodia as well. So you must be careful when you go outside. Do not go to join the crowd. Wear your mask. Okay, wash your hand with the soap and or gel very often. Okay, so this is just ground rule for you to apply with your daily activity in order to protect yourself from COVID-19. So stay safe and sound with your family members. Okay, let's get started with our lesson today. So we are going to check the homework that I provided you last week, right? Remember what homework was it? So some of you sent their homeworks to me. They have done it, but I chose only one, and then I will give you another clarification of the homework as well. Okay, so this is the answer from your classmate. So it's not really clear, but I can see that, and I also check that mostly he made the correct answer. All right, but just some kinds of space, or we can say a apostrophe or something. So, but the content of the homework, he made it correctly. So let me share you with mine, which I prepared for you already. So I think it should be clearer than this one. So let's check this one. Yes. So this one I screenshotted from our workbook. Yes, I hope that you can see it better than this one. So let's check the first one. We have two different task activity. The first one, they want us to see the pictures here, okay? And then we can put the nouns in next to phrases. So like the first one, sliced loaf. So you can find the sliced loaf at the bakers, right? At the bakers. And this one has been done for us already as example. So now we go to number 2. We can say a lamb chops. So where can you find the lamb chops? Okay, you can find the lamb chops at the butchers. Okay, butcher. And another one is number 3, which is about magazine. So you can find out the magazine at the newsagents, right? So these students also have made the correct answer for this. And number 4, a holiday bruncher. So you can find out some information about that at travel agent. Number 5, if you want to find out book to borrow, okay, it means that you want to borrow a book, where should you go? So according to this picture, and the students say library. So let's check the correct answer. Yes, of course, you can find at the library, right? Okay. And number 6, yeah, a coat clean. Where can you find the place you can get your coat clean? So it is at dry cleaners, right? And he also made a correct answer for this one as well. Number 7, flat to rent. Okay, a flat to rent. So where can you find it? You can find it at the estate agent. Okay, estate agents. Yeah. And number 8, book to buy. If you want to buy a book, where would you go? Okay, you can buy your book at the shop. For this case, the student here just leave the space here, so maybe he can just move it together a little bit and to make it better. All right, that's okay, that's correct. So the last one, yeah, haircut. If you want to get a haircut, where would you go? And the student here put here hairdresser. So it just means another one, apostrophe F. So hairdressers, okay, which is the correct answer for that. So this is the activities of number 1. The first and the second activity that we are going to do is about countable and uncountable noun. So we have to categorize, we have to read the words in the box given here and then put the nouns in the correct category. So we have the first box here, we have a countable noun, and the second one is we have uncountable noun. We know that countable noun are nouns that we can count 1, 2, 3 or 100, and uncountable noun are nouns that we cannot count at all. So we cannot count 1, 2, 3. It is uncountable noun. So so let's get started with the first countable noun. So we have few words here. So we have potato, and we have job. We also have dollar, and we also have M and car. The last one for countable noun is low. So the student here also made the correct answer for this one. Yes, but he missed the letter R here with dollar, the word dollar. So don't worry, it's okay, just a small mistake, but it's just better check it again and just make a correction, a small correction on it. That's fine. The rest of the nouns in the book are uncountable noun. It's easy, right? So we can say ice, uncountable noun, and meat. What else? Money, water, work, petrol, information, news, right? We have fruit, yeah, as well. Yeah. So all of these are uncountable noun, right? In this column. So it's pretty easy, isn't it? Yeah. So now let's move to the next activity. We are going to review some lesson before we start a new lesson for today. Okay, let's get started with me. So do you still remember what we studied last week? Of course, last week we studied about future forms, right? And it is divided into 3 different forms: will, going to, we use with the be, emisa, and present continuous for the future. So here are the 3 future forms that we studied last week, and we can just give example like I will have you to carry your bag, or I'm going to have a meeting in this evening, or we can say I am having dinner with my family, or we can say I am having dinner with my family this evening. So these are the examples of the future forms that I just briefly made for you. So okay, without further delay, please get started into the new lesson. Let's start now. We are going to talk about the lesson 3, reading. The girl with 2 families. Yeah. So do you want to know about this one? It is pretty nice, and the information is, I think some information is very new to you. I think you have never known it, but some people may know it. So let's get started. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to read the passage. Yeah, you will be able to read the passage about Palina. Palina is the girl with 2 families. Given you will read the passage about her by given reading passage I give for you, and I will read for you as well. And you will be able to comprehend some keywords in the reading passage by my explanation. And last but not least, you will practice answering some questions regarding the reading passage. So while reading, we also have some questions to deal with. So let's get started together. Okay, keyword. So the first one, Palina. Palina is the girl, which is the characters of our today lesson, right? She's the girl, Palina. We're going to start to read about her. The second one is about Ukrainian city of Chernobyl. Okay, good. And next one is the nuclear accident. We know that nuclear, yeah, it's a bomb, the big bomb. It is a massive bomb and accident, as you know, that happened to you. And nuclear accidents, kinds of the accident happen by the nuclear bomb. Yeah, the nuclear bomb. Some sources say Palina, but in this lesson, they write as Palina. This is just kind of a name of the village in the Ukrainian city of Chernobyl. Okay. Ireland is a country in Europe, and also we have Irish, which is the language and people of Ireland, and Irish family. We are going to talk in the passage. The family whose nationality is Irish. Yeah. So next one is about Belarus. Belarus is a country in Eastern Europe, yeah, where the Palina come from. So these keywords are important for you to have you understand while you are reading. That's why I pick it up and share with you guys right now. Next one is international market. Yeah, so international market meaning you sell your products internationally. Yeah, not only in your country but also the other country as well. So you do an international marketing. Yeah. Next one is expert. Yeah, expert. As you know that expert, the one who expertise on something specifically and professionally. Yeah. Disaster. Yeah. This one is mean a great harm or damage causes serious death or trouble, or we can say difficulty to you. Yeah. Disaster like a flood. Yeah. Okay. Contaminate, which mean to make something less pure or make it poisonous. I think it could be motion to say it makes to makes it poisonous. Summer, hot season, when people like some people they like going to the beach and they play in the sea, something like that on the beach, and yeah, some people they do like this one. Fresh book is kind of the book, especially for the foreigner. You leave your country and then you live in another foreign country, and then you need a fresh book. It means you learn the language. Yeah. Go to bathroom example. Yeah. Go to market. Eat something, like something, a drink. I like this one. It means that this book showing you the simple, basic phrases or sentences about the daily communication, daily practice. Yeah. All right. So the last one is about return, which is a verb. It means to go back or to come back. Okay. To return from somewhere. For example, you go to United States and then you return back. It means that you return. You return means you come back from United States to your homeland country. Okay, that's it. So these words or phrases or sentences are very, very important for you. Please take note on this one, and then it could be helpful for you to when you are reading the passage, the reading passage. Okay, so let's get started into the reading passage. I will read it twice. The first one I will read it slowly, as you are the young learners of English as well, and then I will read as normal the second time. So, okay, so reading passage, hope for the future. So I'm blocking this one, sorry for that, but this one is future. So showing you here, yeah, future. Okay, so Palina, all right, you can see her face here. She's Palina. So I'm going to read this one. In the early hours of April 26, 1986, the worst nuclear accident in history occurred in the Ukrainian city of Chernobyl. 2 years later, and 200 miles away, Palina Yonakina was born in the village of Polesi in southern Belarus. Like many others in her village, she had a lot of health problems and her future didn't look good. Then a holiday in Ireland changed everything. Yeah. So look at the this map as well, showing where she was born and her place. Okay. All right, so another article, the girl with two families, refer to Palina. Okay, Palina. So look at the pictures here. What can you see? Of course, the first picture is about the Yanakina family. It means Palina families, and the second picture is about the squid family. It means the family of Mr. Squid here. Okay, so let me read the first one of this life in the village of Polegi. So the nuclear disaster changed the lives of everybody in the village. It took away all hope for the future. However, when Palina was born in 1988, her parents did their best to give her and her brother Mega a good life. They were farmers and before the accident sold meat, fruit, and vegetables to the international market. After the disaster, no one wanted to buy anything. The villagers were often ill and depressed. When Palina was 8, experts from the capital, Minsk, came to her school and did health tests on the children. The experts told them to stop picking the mushrooms in the forest because they were badly contaminated. When she was 10, the experts returned with news of a charity that helped children like her have holidays abroad. They asked Palina if she would like to go to Ireland and stay with a family in Limerick. Palina felt a bit nervous about leaving home and she didn't speak a word of English, but she decided to go live in Ireland. When Palina met her Irish family, she liked them immediately. John and Fiona Quaid and their two children, Chloe, 3, and Ewan, 6, gave Palina a warm welcome. At first, the only way to communicate was with a Facebook. But soon she became good friends with the children. They didn't need language to play, so many things in Ireland surprised Palina. They visited a shopping mall and she couldn't believe her eyes. There was so much to choose from. She only knew her little village shop. She missed her family but couldn't speak to them because they didn't have a phone. By the time she went home, Palina could speak a few words of English and was delighted when the Squads invited her back for Christmas. After that, she started to visit the family twice a year and often spent 3 months with them in summer. So, I have read for the first time for you. So I'm going to read the second time for you, and then we're going to move on to the next short reading, and then we're going to continue. We can answer the question prepared. Okay, so Palina, in the early hours of April 26, 1986, the worst nuclear accident in history occurs in the Ukrainian city of Chernobyl. 2 years later, and 200 miles away, Palina Yanakina was born in the village of Polegi in the northern Belarus. Like many others in her village, she had a lot of health problems and her future didn't look good. Then a holiday in Ireland changed everything. The girl with two families, life in the village of Polegi. The nuclear disaster changed the lives of everybody in the village. It took away all hope for the future. However, when Palina was born in 1988, her parents did their best to give her and her brother Maker a good life. They were farmers, and before the accident, sold meat, fruit, and vegetables to the international market. After the disaster, no one wanted to buy anything. The villagers were often ill and depressed. When Palina was 8, experts from the capital, Minsk, came to their school and did health tests on the children. The experts told them to stop picking the mushrooms in the forest because they were badly contaminated. When she was 10, the experts returned with news of a charity that helped children like her have holidays abroad. They asked Palina if she would like to go to Ireland and stay with the family in Limerick. Palina felt a bit nervous about leaving home, and she didn't speak a word of English. But she decided to go. Life in Ireland. When Palina met her Irish family, she liked them immediately. John and Fiona quit, and their 2 children, Chloe, 3, and Ewan, 6, gave Palina a warm welcome. After first, the only way to communicate was with a Facebook, but soon she became good friends with the children. They didn't need the language to play, so many things in Ireland surprised Palina. They visited a shopping mall. And she couldn't believe her eyes. There was so much to choose from. She only knew her little village shop. She missed her family, but couldn't speak to them because they didn't have a phone. By the time she went home, Palina could speak a few words of English and was delighted when the Quets invited her back to Christmas. After that, she started to visit the family twice a year and often spent 3 months with them in summer. So this is great experience of Palina, and we can learn from her as well. So I have read the second time for you as well right now. So let's move on to the next short reading and with the question about Palina. So Palina today, so let's take a look at her life today. So I'm so lucky, she say. So when Palina was in her teens, the expert returned to Polegi and checked her again. She couldn't believe how healthy she was. Her time in Ireland was improving her health and her English. In her free time, Palina helped run the farm. However, she didn't want to continue doing this for the rest of her life. She dreamed about becoming a doctor, but had no money to study. John and Fiona understood her problem. They offered to pay for her to study in Ireland and said she could stay with them full time. Palina was amazed and delighted. It was hard for her parents, but they wanted the best for their daughter. Palina is now studying biochemistry at the University of Limerick. She hopes to study medicine one day and return to Belarus to help those who are not as lucky as she is. So this is a pretty lucky. It is really, really lucky for her. It is a big luck, okay, for her. And look at her information, and she's now here. She's taking her biochemistry class at the University of Limerick, okay? That's very nice, yeah. So I have a few questions for you because we have read the reading passages about Palina already. So now we consider about some question about her. So that's called Hope for the Future. Introduction to Palina. The first question I want to ask you is that where does Palina come from? Do you still remember it from the first passage? Of course, Palina comes from the village of Polesky, which is in the Ukrainian Syria. Another question I want to ask you is when was she born? Of course, in the previous passage showing us that she was born in 1988. Yeah. And the last question is, why didn't her future look good? So at time, imagine, she did not imagine the time before she go to island. So her future at that time didn't look good, right? Of course. Because why? Because living in a very small village. Yeah. There's no civilization. There's no new stuff or modern stuff at all. That's why she's living in the farm as well. They are farmers. That's why her future did not look good at the time. But now it does look good. Yeah, it does look really good because she is now taking her biochemistry class at the University of Limerick, and soon she will become a doctor. Okay, doctor, and she will return to home country. Yeah, then she will have her people as well. Right, so good. So I hope that you can find out this information from the previous reading passage, and then can get more ideas about this question. Before we end our class today, I would like to wrap up activity. So I would like to wrap up a little bit. Today we've learned about one person called Palina, yeah, from the village of Polesky. Okay, this is Palina. And she was born in 1988, and she was a farmer. Polesky. Yes. After that, she moved to Ireland to live with the Irish family called Palina Cont. Okay. And then now she's taking her bio class at the University of Limerick. Yeah. After that, she planned to come back home, to return home. Okay. To have her people. And that's it. It is a brief wrap up about this lesson. So for that, I have the homework for you before we end the class. I have the homework for you to do because I got it from our workbook, and I hope that you can find out in your workbook as well, the second page of the unit 4 in workbook. Okay, so you can open because you all have your workbook and student log already. So it's about the chocolate or a chocolate. Okay, so here as instructions is sometimes a noun can be countable or uncountable. Look at the pictures and complete the sentences with a plus noun or just the noun. So just look at this picture and you can put us in front of it, or you can put us with the noun or without us. So for example, like I like a chocolate. Okay, this one. And would you like a chocolate? Yeah, this is a what you have to do. Just put noun or do this as your homework. Another one is about expression of quantity. Yeah, some and any. We studied already, right? Some and any, right? Yeah, basically we use some with a positive form. Yeah, I have some books example like this. But also in some case to offer help to somebody, you can use some as well. And any we use with negative in question form as well. So I hope that you can do this because we studied this one already, and just use some or any complete to fill in the blanks here. Another one is how much and how many. How much we use with uncountable noun, right? So you know already what is uncountable noun, and how many we use with countable noun, and you also know countable noun, right? So just complete the question with how much and how many with this one. For example, you use how much or how many children do you have? So when you ask somebody how much children or how many children do you have, so decide whether it is used with how much or how many. So that's your choice. And then we can check this homework next week on Friday. Okay, right. So please, if you have any question, please ask me personally or in a group. It's okay. Just send it to me in my personal Telegram or in a group here. We have group and personal contact as well. Please, if you don't understand or you want to know more clearer, if you are not sure yet, okay? So thank you everyone for participation today. Remember that practice makes better. So if you want to improve your English speaking, you have to practice your speaking, reading, listening, and writing, especially your speaking. Day by day, you have to speak English in order to improve, because you are now the learners of English. So better speak English, better try to practice doing some grammar, or we can say some vocabulary as well. Thank you very much everyone for participation today. I hope take this chance to practice more exercises at home, and also stay safe and sound with your family as well. So goodbye, see you next week everyone.